Koi fish pond temperatures going sort of leading through autumn and going into winter, quite key to keep an eye on if you intend to feed as long as possible. Feeding is usually sort of hit 10 degrees and then stop. Some people continue from 10 degrees down to about 8 degrees by using a sort of an all seasons wheat germ at very low protein. It's really down to the individual owner what you want to do when you're going through autumn and you're heading into winter. I've chosen this year to kind of feed to 10 degrees and then see how it goes between 10 and 8. So I'll be looking to feed my fish if they're at the window looking for it. I might give them a small handful. I'll probably leave it in there for a little while. If it's not eaten after a certain time, then I'll probably take it out and bin it. So it's just sort of little and often I'll be doing through winter. Anything below 8 degrees, no, I probably won't be feeding at all. I mean, the covers will be on then. You know, I'll be trying to reduce the winter temperatures getting into the pond. Like I've always said, my covers don't keep the pond warm. They basically just stop the wind chill and hopefully stop the ice forming on top. So today we're just going to look at different ways that I measure the pond temperatures and keep an eye on them, because you know, you got to, as you're going through the autumn and into winter, the temperatures will be all over the place a little bit, and maybe, you know, it's like now in the UK at the moment, the temperatures are so up and down. My last video I was in bright sunshine. Today it's a bit misty, a little bit cooler today. I think we're only talking about 11 degrees today. The last video was about 15 degrees outside. Pond temperatures still holding between 11 and 12. Last time it was 12.5. So again, you know, I'm hoping to hold off on winter and hope winter doesn't come along very quick. So we're going to have a quick look at what I use, or what you can also use and where you can get it from, and monitoring your pond temperatures. And anything else really that happens around the pond while I'm doing the filming, we'll have a look at. Okay, let's crack on. So there's lots of different ways that you can monitor the temperature in your pond, and I've just got a few little items here to show you today, because I always like to measure 2 or 3 different ways, so that if a digital way is failing or giving me the wrong result, then I can see where it's changed and so on. So one of the ways I used to use, I haven't used these for a while actually, is any aquarium monitors. Most of the aquarium monitors are quite good. They've got a little sticky tab usually. They have a probe on the end. You can stick these in your filter systems or in your pond directly. I even used mine up in the sky pond one time just to monitor temperatures through the summer, because I was just checking that the temperature in the sky pond didn't go up too high when it was key summer, which it didn't, so which is great. So yeah, any kind of aquarium monitors, these are quite good, cheap as chips. A little battery in it, you just put one end in your pond, the other end you just, you know, clip to the side somewhere, and you go on, press the button, it shows you the temperature, hold the button, it turns it back off again. Dead simple. Another tool you can use for monitoring your temperatures in your pond is one of these. They're these digital infrared thermometers that you basically point at a surface and it'll tell you what the surface temperature is. So it will tell me what the surface temperature of my pond is, but it won't tell me the water deeper down. So if I just needed to know, like, of an average of, you know, around about what is the temperature of my pond, point it at the pond, look at a little screen on the back, it tells me what it is. And these again, a lot of these things that I'm using today aren't bang on accurate. You know, they're within a degree or so, or half a degree. So, but I've been quite chuffed with these. You know, I can go in and point now at and it tells me it's 12 degrees, whereas my Cactoili monitors tell me it's 11.5. So sort of a 0.5 difference of this and the Cactoili monitor, which is not a massive difference if we're just keeping an eye on when we stop feeding and stuff like that. This is just another very simple, same as this really. It's an infrared thing. Steve from Penkoi let me borrow it just to do some comparisons, and again, same thing, point at your water, tells you what the result is on the screen, and away you go. And again, this is usually within sort of a 0.5 variation. So the other way, as you're aware, is my Cactoili monitors, which are doing, you know, a great job monitoring everything else really, sort of pH, ORP, temperatures, salt readings. I don't really use salt in my ponds, but it gives me lots of other options there, and that's digital. So again, we're looking at this, which is a digital surface, and then you've got these which are capturing what the temperature is at certain depths, because you have like the wires quite long on these things, so you can go in to certain depths of your pond to see how warm it is or how cold it is, and what the temperatures are at different depths. And then the Cactoili, which monitors water flowing through a probe. So there's lots of sort of, you know, areas that I use to monitor these. You've even got the bobbing ones, these little bobby, they sort of bob around on the surface, and you pick them out and they tell you up to sort of 6 inches underwater. And again, you know, there's no major accuracy, but within sort of half a degree to a degree is in there. So it's just a way of monitoring what your temperature's doing in your pond. So people are asking, what do you do with your feeding and the temperatures I use throughout the pond? So the main temperatures I go down to is 10 degrees. Anything above 15 is the higher protein stuff, and that's like your summer mixes, and you know, trying to get some growth, which isn't the optimal temperature for growth. I think the optimal temperature is up in the 20s somewhere, which I've never been. You know, I've never, because I'm not heated, so I have to go off what my pond naturally does. But anything over 15 is high protein. Below 15 and above 10 is then a sort of a lower protein, sort of a winter mix. So you're looking at coming out of summer and mixing some of your summer food with your winter wheat germ to bring the fish into a lower state of temperatures. So anyway, and then I used to stop feeding from 10 degrees. I was always told 10 degrees, stop feeding. You know, your fish will go into their own little hibernation thing and stop feeding there. But for 2 seasons now, I've fed down to 8 degrees. Again, you know, give it a bit of a trial, see how it went. If the fish are at the window, I was given a small handful of the all seasons food, just putting literally teeny bits hands in, and anything that wasn't eaten after sort of 5 or 10 minutes, take it back out again. So that's how I kind of run mine. But you've got to keep an eye on your temperatures, because it's quite key going through autumn into winter in your temperatures. And anything below 8, no feeding. You know, I don't feed at all. Again, some people decide to continue to feed and want to continue to feed the fish throughout the winter to demand. That's great. If that's what you do with your fish, then, you know, crack on. Every day's a school day. You know, let me know in the comments below what you do with yours. But that's how I do mine. Water testing is also high up on my list, so I make sure that I get plenty of water tests done, especially with feeding at low temperatures, because that's when potentially you start losing beneficial bacteria and your filters stop coping with the amount of ammonia that the fish are making. So the more food you chuck in, the more ammonia they make, and then everything starts going up and out of control. So always keep an eye on this. If it does go up on the ammonia or the nitrites, I just drop right back off feeding, a little bit of a water change, and then just monitor it as it starts coming down, start feeding again. Right, hopefully the last time we talk about blanket weed until next year, because it's been a pain in the ass. Yeah, there you go. So I use the word ass, but I have done. So yeah, what I found is this in the bottom as well, because all of a sudden, because the temperatures are coming down, it seems to be just dropping off the sides of the pond, and I had a pile of it sitting right at the bottom of one of the walls. So I had to get hold of the net and take the net in, which the fish weren't impressed because they don't like this net. The amount of times I've been using the net throughout the summer period to get them out and do scrapes and stuff. So anyway, the net went in, and I had to scrape the stuff off the floor, chuck it in my recycle bin, and to be honest, I think it's coming to an end now. So thank goodness it's coming to the end of blanket weed, and hopefully we don't hear about it again until next year. Cactoily monitors, we spoke about them earlier, and people have been asking how you're getting on with your 2 monitors, because at the moment, don't forget, I've got the pond one, sorry, the swimming pool one that I'm testing in my pond for the chlorine, because don't forget, in Stoke-on-Trent at the moment, our companies that do all our water companies are, for whatever reason, putting a lot of chlorine in, and I'm just making sure that my dechlorinator is doing its job, and that is telling me. But I mean, they're both Wi-Fi, these are, so I can go on my phone and I have both monitors there, that I just click one of them, no matter where I am. I'm at work, I'm away, I'm out doing something, walking the bear, lying in bed, whatever. I can just click on either one now and it'll tell me what's happening. And yeah, dead chuffed with these so far have been dead good. Now, how accurate they are is interesting, because they're both within 0.5 of each other. So for example, if the pH is 7.6, the other monitor will say 7.55. So they're sort of within 0.5 of each other. The temperatures again are within 0.5. So at the moment they're quite good, because they're running side by side, which is interesting. So yeah, really good at the moment. And don't forget, Cactoily are doing 20% off between now, sort of I think it's November the 1st they started, and December the 31st, 2024. So they're doing this big discount at the moment. So you are interested in getting any of their products, is just go onto their website. When you get to the discount code bit, put Koi Pond Lifestyle in. I'll leave the links below, and then get yourself 20% off for any of their items. So there it is. And before I get off to find out where all the sun's gone that I ordered, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, share, ding the bell for notifications, and click the like. It does make a difference. Thanks very much for watching Koi Pond Lifestyle.